Hey guys, it's Gordon, and today I wanted to talk about this video I've seen on Instagram a few times now about how black head coaches are covered in the media.
You and Mike Tomlin are two of the few black head coaches in the league. I wonder what your relationship is like with them and your thoughts on Steve Wilks joining that role.
I have a very good relationship with Tomlin. We don't look at what color we are when we coach against each other. We just know each other. I have a lot of very good white friends that coach in this league as well, and I don't think it's a big deal as far as us being coaching against each other. I think it's normal. Wilkes got an opportunity to do a good job. Hopefully he does it. And we coach ball. We don't look at color.
But you also understand that representation matters too, right? And that when young aspiring coaches or even football players, they see you guys, they see someone that looks like them, maybe grew up like them, that has to mean something.
Well, when you say you see you guys and look like them and grow up like them, means that we're oddballs to begin with. And I think the minute you guys stop making a big deal about it, everybody else will as well.
I love this. I love this guy's response to the reporters. The reporters try to spin a narrative for him. They basically tell the whole story, and they just want him to agree with them and just give a little puff piece response. And he says, "No, I'm going to reject the whole hypothesis of your question." The hypothesis being because they're black, they're different. They're special. It's something to be celebrated. They had to fight against stereotypes and stigmas and everything. And while that's partially true because of their age, and I mean it takes time for these racial wounds to heal, and for people to have been able to put themselves in a position, and their families in a position where the next generation doesn't have to face the financial crisis that the systemic racism left the black community in. Okay, it takes a generation or two to get out of that. But this is what the media does. They make every single thing about race, and the public eats it up. They think every black person just experiences racism all day, every time they encounter someone who isn't black. Guys, racism exists. Let's not pretend that it doesn't. But it is not an endemic issue, okay? There is no conspiracy to prevent black people from getting opportunities. It definitely existed in the past. And the corollary of that is that most black people back then were impoverished, and poor people tend to stay poor. And so it takes a couple generations to get out of that, to make those opportunities more equal, which is, I think, what the presidential administrations, and states and cities, they know this, and I believe that they have been trying to, develop strategies to overcome this, unsuccessfully in a lot of ways. But I don't think it's fair to tell young black people, and by putting it all over the news, that every white person they encounter is racist, and they need to be careful because they're going to, not give you the same opportunities. They're going to treat you differently. You're not going to get the same pay. They'll never see you as equal to them. I'm black. I have not encountered an ounce of that kind of racism, not a single time. The only time that I've even come close is in a black community. I have, my parents were divorced growing up. They eventually got remarried, but when I was growing up, they were divorced, and my father had visitation. My mother lived in the white community, the affluent white community, and my black father, lived in the impoverished black community. And when I would go over there, I mean, you could feel that they were so bitter, so angry at whites. But the people that they were complaining about keep holding them down were other black people in their community. Oh, he won't give me a promotion. well, their boss is black. Well, the cops are racist. The cops are black. So who's being racist? You know, you hear it all day, every day, and you assign that to it's just racist. It's not me. It's not that I'm not working hard enough. It's not that I'm lazy. Okay, don't take any responsibility for yourself. It's because of racism. And if I do well at all, I overcame great odds and I'm a hero. And so if I have a position where everyone else in the job is white, I get to talk about it. In fact, I have to talk about it. I have to talk about how I don't feel included, how my people haven't been included in the conversation. This is total nonsense. I've traveled, through the U.S. I was just in L.A. I lived in New York for a bit. I mean, I just haven't experienced racism, and these are the places where you would expect to experience it. I've been in very rural areas. All of my girlfriends have been white. You would think that in a rural area, and my girlfriend, even like my first girl, she even warned me this place, it's, they're not terribly progressive. I went over there. I'm not going to name the place, but I went over there. It was like a poor white rural town. I didn't experience any racism. They weren't racist. It wasn't arrested. I was detained in that city, in that small town. They weren't racist cops. I could have done. The only reason I'm getting arrested right now is because of the racist. No, I had broken a law, and that's why I was arrested. Well, again, I wasn't arrested. I was detained. But you see what I'm saying? It's so easy, and that's why we accuse everything of racism, because it's easy. We don't want to take responsibility. We don't want to accept that everyone faces the same issues. It's racism. I face different issues. I face worse issues. It's just, I'm not saying racism isn't real, but I just think we need to stop automatically assuming everything is about race. We need to stop doing it. Please.